Hello, hello, welcome to the stream. It's a little bit of a weird one today. We're doing it in the middle of the day. But for all you people who really care about tech, any time of day is a good day. Plus, you can watch this later on because it'll all be saved to YouTube forever. I've got with me a special guest. I don't know if you want to go by Comp Guru or Fister, or which is your preferred identifying marker, but now everybody knows. Oh, okay. So,
That's fine.
all
Good
right.
morning, everybody.
And we're going to talk a little bit before the Nvidia stream. Just a quick little dip into a few different things, including new toolkit, performance toolkit update, some thoughts on where Nvidia wants to start pushing the narrative these days on what is performance and what is the goal with new tech. And also we're going to talk a little bit about Nvidia's glorious quarterly earnings. And then also too, we're going to talk a bit about new upcoming ADA architecture, and hopefully we could get into that and through that all in the half hour between now and when Nvidia goes live at Siggraph 2022. So without further ado, let's get into it.
I have to ask, the picture that wasn't there last time, was it?
Which picture?
Right
This?
behind you.
Oh yeah, this is my wife's art. I'm using it as a I'm using this as a platform to push her art, so
Nice. I like
so
it.
why not, you know?
Oh, good spot. Good spot.
I know it's beautiful, so why not? So Nvidia's big thing, I think, is they've already sort of pushed, gaming is more than frames per second. Uh, and they talked about that a lot when they were pushing their ray tracing stuff. But now you're thinking it's going to be all about that latency.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back a little bit more before ray tracing as well. I mean, remember when AMD was really competitive in frames? I think it was back in Hawaii time.
Man.
Um, that's when they started really pushing the 1% lows, and I just see it. I mean, I think we can all agree 1% lows are a pretty important
Mm-hmm.
measure for gaming, because that's gonna give you your smoothness, how smooth your game plays. But so that was one thing they pushed when
I'm going
you know,
to
they saw it as an opportune marketing time.
try and scroll to the appropriate chart here. Which one are you looking for?
So that one's fine. We start off. I mean,
Yep.
for people that aren't aware right now, and just look at benchmarks. So this right here is your basic, your very basic FPS chart. It's like, this is how many FPS you can expect to see in this game, which is even still relatively weak, because you can see in that one, you don't see your 95 percentile, your 1 percentile, any of that fun stuff. You're just seeing absolute average, which does not represent gameplay at all. It's just like, these are the frames that you're going to get, but it doesn't tell you how your experience is going to be. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what a lot of places do. It's like, there's websites like Guru 3D does that stuff, that just show your average frame rate, which is just trash. There's a few others that do that, so it doesn't really help you much, because
Oh, you can have dropped frames and stuff
yeah,
stuttering, and just you could have something that averages 60, but it's going from 120 to like 3 frames every time there's
and
you turn your mouse or something.
yeah, and it's also, it's on the adverse side of that. Like, if you've got really low lows like that, you're also going to have extremely high highs, and that's just going to be a really janky experience. Um, it's just not very. A lot of people are right now. You should be chasing, I think, 1% lows as opposed to higher average FPS, because the GPUs we have right now
Hmm.
are plenty strong enough for the most case. Obviously, if you're buying at the mid-range or low end, then yeah, go for your average and try to find a nice balance there. But at the high end, I think it's more important right now to chase those 1% lows. But anyways,
We're gonna keep on going here, but yes, always higher is better.
all right.
Oh,
So
yeah, and
on
here's
this
those
chart,
1% lows that you were talking about.
yeah. So ignore the left side for now. On the right side is your 2-day decent chart, right? The blue bar represents your 1% lows, the yellow representing your averages. this is good, and it shows you your variance between your average and your low as well. So you can kind of see the delta there. But you don't want a large delta, if possible, between your 1% lows and your averages, because that leads to that's like a measure right there. That is your measure of janky experience. It'd be better if they had your max FPS on there too, but
Yeah. Well, the good thing that the lows show you, right, is like this is the worst experience you can expect with this GPU.
well,
Right?
against it,
The worst
because
the worst
that's
it's going to get.
1%.
No, but like the worst it's going to get. Like it's not going to get much worse. It's not going to get much worse than this.
Yeah, you still that doesn't incorporate minimums, but minimums aren't really that important.
Mhm.
But while we're on the topic, also, um, if you have a large delta between your average and your frame rate, it also may entirely be down to the game engine itself, because you see this in lots of games where they have like heavy streaming or sometimes an Unreal Engine with their stutters, that you will have that large delta between your 1% lows and your averages, and nothing a GPU can do is going to save you. That's more going to be on the CPU side. The game engine lives in the CPU. Um,
Yeah, and
and then the streaming.
as a user looking to, pick the right GPU, you can you can use that information if you look at, say, you can maybe look at a game's performance, and then that's where it's important to look at what the benchmark uh, PC they're using to get that, right? Because that's going to be more influential in regards to when it's the engine and not the CPU or the GPU itself.
Yeah. So all that, just read it, interpolate it the best you can, because it's going to vary situation by situation. Anyways, scroll back a little bit.
Yeah.
Not scroll back up.
Oh.
There we go. All right, now, because we were ignoring the left side. The left side. Oh no.
Oh no. I was like, wait a second. I think I went a little too far. There's a little bit of lag, so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So there we go.
It's those 1% lows on my PC. They're stopping me from doing it.
Latency between.
Oh, so much latency.
So anyways, now that we're paying attention to the full slide here, now we have on the left is a measure of your latency. So for those that don't know yet, latency is the measure from your action to your response from the pixel on your monitor. So you click your mouse and how long it takes to reflect on your screen. Now so the 1% lows to the averages are going to represent how smooth of a display of video you have, right? On the left side now, you have how smooth of an experience you're going to have between your mouse click and what you see in that video. And for most games, so for instance, say you're playing a game like
Say Skyrim.
Yeah, Skyrim. Your PC latency on this one is not going to be nearly that imperative, right? You're not fighting for milliseconds here. Like, it's a single player experience. Like,
You're not in a CS:GO tournament,
yeah.
right?
And it's not Elden Rings where if it stutters, you're going to die. Like,
this is actually a good thing for all Elden Ring players out there. You don't suck. It's just your latency is bad.
Yeah, and there's nothing you can do about it in that game.
It just sucks all around.
Yeah, terrible engine. Oh, you guys may love that game all you want, but man, the stutter killed me. Anyways, so yeah, that is what the new narrative is now, or not. I won't say it's new because Nvidia's been pushing reflex for a while now. And for anybody that doesn't know, reflex is their means of reducing your overall system latency. Your click to pixel changing on your monitor. So, but what now Nvidia is doing is they're updating their performance toolkit to now include better measurement of that. So scroll back up one more.
Oh.
That slide's a little bit.
Just compare it similar quality.
Yeah.
All right.
That one. So, and the other thing that they're going to push, this one kind of, seeing this slide really kind of like had me step back and go, because you see GPU B, oh wait, no, it wasn't this slide. But anyways,
This
we'll
one.
use this as a comparison.
Is it this one?
But, yes, that one, sorry. Response, that one. So, as you see, the CPU with a 65 FPS, you might go, oh wow, that's a great GPU, blah blah blah, because it's beating the other one by 3 FPS. I'm not going to do the math right now,
Mm-hmm.
but if you look at the latency, it's terrible. It's going to deliver a much worse experience
Mm-hmm.
depending on your game. So if that's like one, I wouldn't play Call of Duty at 65 FPS to begin with, but
Elitist alert. Elitist
yeah.
alert.
Not in any competitive manner. You remember when PUBG first came out? We were getting maybe 60 to 100 frames per second.
I
It was
know it
terrible.
was just a pile of high school level
But
coded garbage,
it was so bad.
but it was still
Unreal
fun.
nonsense. Yeah. But anyway, so this is the side that they want you to see, is because if, say, and this is what made me stop, like say the new 7950 XT comes out and it's 3 FPS faster than their 4090,
Mm-hmm.
what they want you to now see is responsiveness. I'm not going to tell you it's not important, um, but I'm also going to tell you if Nvidia is pushing it, it's for a very specific marketing reason to sell you GPUs.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I can't argue with the logic behind it that system responsiveness does matter.
Yeah, like
And
overall you're gonna want to have nice low response time as well as high frames,
yes,
and it's gonna give you this holistic immersive experience. But, and
exactly.
I'm pretty sure Jensen's probably got that written down somewhere already. Holistic
But
immersive
also,
experience.
um, there's an opportunity there, but we'll come back
Yeah.
to that. Anyway,
He's gonna
so,
pull that one out of his
um,
leather jacket, guaranteed.
um, the
But
other catcher with this thing, I don't want to spend too much
yeah, I
time
was gonna say we
talking
gotta
about this,
move
but
this train along here.
there's so you were thinking, wow, that'd be great to see in tons of games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to see this information in all my competitive games and all my other games, because God of War actually came out with reflex, and you could tell it was working. Like, you could feel the system being more responsive,
Mm-hmm. So
but
I
it
think,
didn't matter. Like, like you could play the game on or off,
yeah.
and if you couldn't turn it on, you wouldn't be missing it.
You know
Is
what
what I'm
though? They
getting
say in
like.
this slide right here that low latency is critical for all gamers.
Yeah, yeah, we know that already.
All
We should,
gamers.
yeah,
Everybody needs it.
yeah.
But yes, they're
Um,
talking about end
in
to.
competitive gameplay, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because they do some more stats on competitive gameplay. If you have lower latency, then you get more kills. Blah
Mm-hmm.
blah blah.
I think this is what you're kind of talking about, where they've got
Yes,
something that's gonna sort of
the new tool allowing you
capture
to
it
measure it.
and show you it.
Yes. The problem is it only works with select games. And if you scroll down, I think it has a list of like
Yep.
15 games or
Oh,
something
these
like
ones
that.
have upgraded to 1.6. So this is
Yeah.
1.3. Oh no, is that no? That's FrameView 1.3. But yeah.
Yeah. So Reflex 1.6 is what's required for it to actually work, because the engine has
Mm-hmm.
to give some feedback to the software
So
when it
Escape from
actually
Tarkov,
works good.
which is kind of
Yeah.
a popular one. I don't know. There's this one here I've
Oh,
never heard
don't get
of.
me started on them right
There's
now.
this one I've never heard of. It's called
I don't know, what is that?
Fortnite. Fort
Is that like Roblox?
Fortunate. I think it's Minecraft with guns. I don't know.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, that sounds about right.
yeah, and then there's Valorant, which is, um, I don't know, I think that's like a new Overwatch that they have.
It's
There,
a, I think it's a, like a sci-fi CS:GO,
yeah, and then there's the
my
Rust
impression
one,
of it. Oh,
which is just
toxic.
a a bag of stress, a bag of
Yeah.
boiling hot stress. But a lot of these, yeah, are like
Yeah.
what you were talking about before,
I
those sort
haven't
of
heard of the.
first person shooters where, your reaction time is going to be, it could give you an advantage potentially over somebody. Not like an open world exploration, like uh, I'm thinking like No Man's Sky, right? It's not going to help you much in No
Yeah.
Man's Sky. Um, so there's going to be these sort of benchmarking uh, with your latency as well as your frames, and I think they're gonna, yeah, sort of add that to the narrative, right? And
Yep. That's
it,
what it's gonna
it
be.
might be because they're seeing that potentially the new AMD GPUs are going to be a little bit better in frames, or maybe
I'm not gonna speculate too much on that.
the new AMD ones are going to be as good in ray tracing. No.
Oh, one could hope.
Hey, you
One
never
could
know. You
hope.
never know. And like, if this is something they're gonna push, like you said, there's a very good marketing reason behind it, right?
Yeah. And this was all from a closed door
Mm-hmm.
offline briefing that
Yes.
just got leaked. So,
Yeah, you can see how top secret it is right here.
I mean,
It's
it'd
very
be
top
funny if we
secret.
talked about it today. Uh,
Mm-hmm. But
just be
guys,
prepared for the marketing words here.
yeah, guys, make sure that you don't share this with anyone. This is very top secret. Don't identify these people. All right. It'd be really funny if somebody had like their name badge on or something. It's like,
Well, they straight up say where they're from, so it's
yeah,
like, guys.
yeah.
Like,
So they really fail on that. But anyways, we're gonna move on to financials quickly. We're halfway through before the stream is set to start. Um, so we're gonna quickly go to the second quarter fiscal 2023, where, you know, Nvidia fell short by 1.4 billion.
oh, it's glorious, isn't it? It's just
Mm-hmm.
glorious to see. And this is not an anti-Nvidia spew on my part. Most would call me an Nvidia fanboy.
You're
Uh,
a bit of an Nvidia
but
shill, really.
doing a terrible job today, though.
I know. Hey,
But yeah,
Nvidia's the
so this
topic,
this is
so
what was that?
Nvidia's the topic, so you know
Yeah, that is it.
the good and the
Sorry, I got
bad.
some AMD love in here too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but so yeah, this is the reason to bring this up isn't about financials, buy, sell stocks. No, it's
Mm-hmm.
nothing to do with that. Um, this is just an indicator of where the market is now. Like we've been, for anybody that's been following along, last 2 years have been pretty terrible if you're trying to buy GPUs unless you're very very patient or you're good at
Mm-hmm.
sniping websites, which I am neither of. So
Yeah.
it was a terrible couple years.
Or if you
Um,
join a Discord where there's very helpful people.
and bots.
No, no bots. I never used a bot, and I got a few
I
with no
the only ones
bots.
I ever got were because of EVGA, and then at the very launch, I got really lucky with Newegg and was able to snag a 3090 at MSRP.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
But it was all luck.
EVGA was probably the best one as
Yeah,
far as getting GPUs in the hands of gamers. The last 2
100%
years,
agree.
probably the
Uh,
absolute best. And then,
yeah,
well, it degraded over time, but yeah.
yeah. I can't argue with EVGA on their customer support side. They've done me right so many times.
Yeah, I'm not so sure
Instead
about
of getting
their
it,
I'm not so sure about their
no,
pricing further on down the line of, 2021.
no, no.
They sort of kind of went off the rails a little, but again, everybody was sort of doing it. But just because
Yeah, the
everyone's doing it
supply
doesn't mean you
shortage.
should. But
I mean, I can't without seeing like their bill of materials or whatever. Like, I can't really say they
I
were,
would say I would say
because the market was stupid.
across the board prices were going up, and everybody was
Yeah,
saying uh, supply chain. So you can't fault them. But
and at the same time, you can't often say like
mhm,
they're a company that's stay in business, right? So it's like they
yeah,
might have to increase
well,
prices
like
just to cover wages because they're selling less.
yeah, well, like I've said with
I don't
Nvidia,
know.
Nvidia's probably biggest regret of the past 2 years is not is not this big outlook. They're probably their greatest regret of the last 2 years is that they didn't launch the 3000 series at $200 more MSRP.
Yeah, they could have got away with it.
Oh, they
Like,
would have. And the funny thing is that you could see it by how fast they released those TIs,
oh yeah,
right? They just like TIs like within what months
yeah, and
of
it's like
the release, and it's
you could
like,
argue that like they did it because of AMD, but
nah.
after seeing AMD's latest report as well, and
Mm-hmm.
then the breakdown of that, because AMD switched up how they break
Oh,
down
we're
their
gonna
segments.
switch.
Now
We're
we're
gonna
gonna make it
switch to
more
that right
literal.
now because we got to move.
All right,
We
yeah.
got
So,
10 minutes.
all right,
Mm-hmm.
okay. So as you see, this is not how AMD used to report, right? On the left side, you got the segments. It used to literally just be enterprise and client, right?
Okay.
And there might have been a couple other things,
Mhm.
but it was just terrible to try to read to figure out where we were for
Yeah.
the gaming segment. Because really, ultimately, that's all I care about is
Yeah.
the
You want?
gaming segment or the client compute, right? Because I
Okay.
like CPUs as well.
Yeah.
But the client right here is broke down just by desktop processors and chipsets now, right?
Mhm.
And gaming is just GPUs and Xbox embedded chips, right? Or
Mhm.
not Xbox consoles,
Yeah.
console embedded chips, right?
Which
As
is,
you
I
see,
think, both Xbox and PlayStation
yeah,
both have
it,
AMD.
yes. So as you can see, their gaming revenue has been quite terrible, like over
Mhm.
the years, like compared to Nvidia, right?
Yeah.
And I wish I could find it. I couldn't find it in time for the stream, but there's actually a slide floating around somewhere. I think it came out of the actual conference call. Um, that actually shows a breakdown of the
Yeah.
gaming revenue.
We'll we'll tweet it out. We'll tweet it out when you find it.
Yeah, yeah.
Tag
But it
me in
breaks
it
down.
and tweet it out, and I'll retweet it. And which reminds me, you should really follow both of us on Twitter. I'm gonna actually add.
Don't follow me. I'm terribly toxic.
No? Oh, okay. He's toxic. You can follow me instead of him. I'm all right with that.
Uh,
You
yeah,
know,
he's much nicer than
I
I
try to be kind.
Anyways,
But anyways.
but most of, and you can interpolate this by looking
Mm,
at their previous statements, most of their gaming revenue actually comes from the consoles, which you can actually kind of interpret just from the slide by looking at their operating margin.
mm,
You don't make much margin on these chips that they
mm.
sell in consoles. But I think on the slide for this quarter, it was something like 600 million this quarter
Wow.
was from gaming GPUs, while the rest of it was over a billion of it was from just Xbox stocks or console stocks.
Now,
So,
now they did cut production quite a bit with their GPUs.
yes,
This
yes,
last
but even the
quarter.
previous quarter, it and like you see their gaming revenue like,
Mm,
hasn't been much. So, anyways, I that's something. Anyways, back to Nvidia. I think
yeah.
that's something that Nvidia hasn't been afraid of was AMD's GPU market share. They're getting gaming revenue in a segment they don't really belong in unless you count the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't count the Switch. So, anyways, this is where we're at, right? Nvidia is they're down considerably in gaming right now because
Mm-hmm.
not only are they cutting production now because they ramped up because of the miners and all the
Yeah.
gamers couldn't get graphics cards, this, that, and the other.
But
So they
they're also
ramped up.
they're also cutting production at like I can't believe they didn't like foresee, you know, like
The death of
mining.
mining came so fast, though. It was almost overnight. Like
No.
it was pretty quick. Like from somebody that isn't heavily involved in mining, I was
I've
like, oh wow, that's
I've
dead
been
now. Like,
okay. I've been a little bit involved in it. All right. They've been talking about.
trader.
I know, right? They've been talking about like the end of mining. Like they were talking about the end of mining happening August, 2021, and then it got pushed. To they were saying profits were gonna die. Blah blah blah, and then they were saying end of mining is gonna be, December 2021, spring 2022, summer 2022, and now they're saying it's gonna be end of August. And really, I think more so the drop in crypto um, affected mining more so than the drop, or more so than the idea of Ethereum mining finishing, because that just like really cut into any sort of like profitability that a lot of people had. Basically, anywhere with a certain cost of energy, it's no longer viable profit wise. So, and I think that's really what shut it off so fast. And maybe that's what they didn't foresee. But economic downturn, they should have seen some sort of indicators with that. Like, there are so many people warning so many times about, oh, the
Yeah.
economy is going to go down. The economy is going to go down. This is artificial. This isn't real. It's going to go down. And it's like,
Well,
I
they
figure there's
addressed some of that
people that,
in their earnings.
I figure there's people that, work at Nvidia that have some sort of experience, marketing outlook, that sort of stuff. But anyways, we got 5 minutes until the stream starts.
All right.
Let's
So
hit.
I'll sum this up real quick.
Let's
Or
hit a
wait,
bit.
No, you're good. Okay.
Oh,
Oh yeah, this part. Okay, I forgot about this. The most important part.
this is
No,
gonna
go
talk.
ahead. It's fine.
We're going
But
back
yeah,
to you.
the cap to stock thing. It was just downturn in stocks or downturn in the market, excess inventory, and Nvidia is at the point of buying back or giving rebates to those that have bought. So EVGA.
Oh
Or
yeah.
whatever, if they bought an excess stock, they were now like rebating them on the cost.
Oh wow.
So yeah, that's where they're at. So people can move. That's why you see this big drop in GPU.
Yeah, this half price
And I'm
3090
like, hey,
Ti's.
I'm not gonna say to buy them. because the price is going to keep going down.
I'll tell you what, buy
Anyway,
them now and send them to me. That's what I'll say. I have no problem saying that. This Jay says buy them now, buy all the ones you can, and send them to me. I'll take them. There we go.
all right. So, cool. And then these slides, the reason why I thought these were important is because
I'm hearing the
I'm not going to say.
I'm hearing the Nvidia.
Is he actually on time?
Oh yeah.
Don't say that.
They've got their music going. All right.
All right. Let's monitor it and see if he actually shows up on time.
Let me see here. One second here. I gotta do some little switcherooskies here. Some pretty cool music they got going on here.
30 minutes.
Yeah. Oh. There we go. Okay, it's gonna begin in 4 minutes.
All right, we got 4 minutes. All right, cool.
So we'll mute that.
Um,
Actually, you know what? We'll put the volume very low. Let's just do that, huh?
all right.
And we'll continue with
Ambiance.
yeah, we'll have that, and then we'll hear them talking. You know, when it's time. And we'll go right to here. There we go.
All right, sweet. So, anyways, the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because Jensen himself doesn't do keynotes normally in recent memory, unless it's of importance, right? So he's been putting off and making that other guy. It's not Tom. Tom doesn't work there. I don't know the other guy's name.
Yeah, the Thai guy. The Thai guy.
Yeah. You would never get me to say Thai.
3090 Thai.
But that guy has been doing them lately. So there's this could be a significant advance this presentation for Nvidia. So Jensen's going to be there, or it could be in light of the financials. Jensen's taking more of an active role again, hoping to.
And he's going to use the power of his leather jacket.
Yes, exactly.
To redeem the stock price.
But in case this is a more significant event, because this does reflect back to the Turing launch. When in Turing launch, they launched the Quattros first, and announced the T8000 and all that fun stuff before they launched the gaming side. So it is possible, though I still think it's unlikely that they do that today. But in cases to get everybody up to speed on Loveless.
All right, we've got to do it in 3 minutes, though.
According to Copite, right?
Yeah.
So this is the block diagram. This shows one TPC, right? I think it's the TPC. Yeah, there's 2 SMs per TPC. So, this is it, right? This is significant because thing to look at here is the N cores and the 32 cores, or FP cores, right? So now you have 3 pipelines there, or 2 pipelines really. It looks like 3. So you got 2 blocks of FP32 cores, and you got 1 block of N32 cores. This is semi-significant because on Ampere, one channel was N32 and FP32. So if you had integer instructions coming through, they would take up half of your FP32 cores, right? Half of that block would be, or that entire block would be nothing but int instructions, while you now had half of the FP32 instructions, which kind of makes sense because according to Nvidia, 30 some odd % of instructions are integer based.
Okay.
So it makes sense to, anyways.
So they would have, instead of 2 FP32s here, you'd have 1 N32 and then 1 FP32 from here over here. So they'd be split, kind of.
It shows it. So if you go
the next slide?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh no, it's
There we go. All right.
2 channels though.
Yeah, so there's 2 channels, just like with the previous one. The previous one looks like there's 3.
Yeah,
it's really,
but it's technically 2? Okay.
2 blocks of FP32s. But here, so this is a better representation of what Ampere does. So if we have something that comes through and says, hey, do this math on this color, color's done in integer, then you would lose half your block, or half of your SM to doing integer instructions. And you'd have half of it for 32-bit instructions. Now what happens now, you have a dedicated integer pipeline, like, pretty sure,
it's like this guy here.
yeah, I think Haskell had a dedicated, yeah, anyway, something had previously a dedicated integer pipeline.
Lith, you missed everything.
Yeah. So anyways, that's what's significant about that. And in addition to that, if you scroll down to the last slide, I believe, which would be the
Nope, that was how to translate.
other. Oh,
1 second.
don't have the
I
comparison
had it.
side.
I had it in my history.
Oh no. We
The
lost it.
comparison. This guy?
Yeah, that one right there. Okay. So this is a chart. So I know it looks like a bunch of gibberish. On the left-hand side, you have the new chip that's supposed to be coming out, right?
Mm-hmm.
On the right, you have previous generations. Um, and then the GA100 is Ampere for data center, and H100 is Hopper for data center, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is comparing them all, right? So you have twice the GPCs as what we had last gen, or 1.7%, sorry. Same amount of TPCs, same amount of SMs per TPC, right? But where it gets interesting is FP plus 32, you get more capacity there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it gets even more, what I think, interesting, and what's important, because Ampere's performance was terrible per core,
Mm-hmm.
if you're looking at the actual ALUs, because it lacked resources, right? So here you can get way more warps in per SM, right? You can have, or 33% more, right?
Mm-hmm.
33% more threads. But if you look, the most important part, the L1 goes up by 50%.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You get twice the ROPS. ROPS not nearly as important for allocation,
Mm-hmm.
but back end, this is like your max theoretical FPS or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That goes up with your ROPS, and then your L2 cache dramatically increases. And I think that's going to play a big role in ray tracing performance.
Mhm.
Your
Oh, I think they're starting.
volume is
I think they're starting.
Anyways, that's where we're at. We can watch the stream and keep this.
Oh man, here we go. Ah. 1 second. I'm lost here. I'm trying to switch my. There we go.
I messed it all.
You messed everything up. There he is.
Across computer vision, speech, natural language processing, conversation,
I gotta find it.
recommenders,
Creepy Jensen.
robotics, and more. AI is revolutionizing the largest industries, including computer graphics. Nvidia researchers, applying the AI capabilities that our GPUs enable, are now reinventing 3D graphics.
The only thing that's
The
keeping
incredible
him from
advances in
transporting
AI-infused
himself
graphics
into the
have laid the
Omniverse
foundation
is they're
for
still
the
having
next computing
difficulty
platform.
implementing leather
Next big
jacket
evolution
physics.
of the internet, the metaverse.
The Metaverse.
Welcome to Siggraph 2022. We have a lot to share with you today. Advances by Nvidia research, new technologies,
Wait.
products, and
What happened to
collaboration
Omniverse?
across 3 major areas of work: computer graphics, the metaverse, and
Got
robotics.
eaten by the metaverse.
All are interconnected and can trace their giant leaps to AI.
Buzzwords. You gotta love them.
Nearly
Yep.
a quarter of a century ago, Nvidia introduced the world's first GPU and
Get
real-time programmable shading, a new type of graphics
Mhm.
processor that did not run fixed function pipelines, but rather executed programs called shaders. Programmable shading GPUs
Sounds pretty shady.
revolutionized 3D and made possible the beautiful graphics we see in games today. 4 years ago, 21 years after our invention of the GPU, at Siggraph 2018,
Yeah, here it
we
is.
launched Nvidia RTX,
Papa
a
Jensen.
brand new GPU architecture that extends the rasterization and programmable shading-based GTX architecture with 2 new processors: accelerated ray tracing on RT cores and deep learning on tensor cores. RTX reset computer graphics and opened new frontiers for computer scientists.
That's what it was.
The
Mhm.
advances in new algorithms,
Pipeline.
many first introduced at Siggraph, have been nothing short of amazing.
Listen,
From
they're
Nvidia's
pioneers, okay?
dog-hand AI
They can
tools
take
to
kids'
create
drawings and turn them
RTX
into
AI global illumination, to ASC
incredible
character
drawings.
animation, to audio to face, Nvidia's AI research
Somehow my
is
stream is even
impacting
further behind
every
the stream of
aspect
yours
of
I'm watching.
computer graphics.
Crazy.
RTX,
Mm-hmm.
the fusion of programmable shading, ray tracing, and AI, has started the next era.
Welcome
Neurographics.
our robo
Neurographics
overlords.
will be integral to how artists create 3D worlds and how the world is animated and rendered. One of the most impactful neurographics inventions is
Wonder how many
DLSS,
more
an
events you
AI
had
that has
before you
learned
got
to
stable that
enhance
came.
the resolution
Yeah.
of motion graphics.
Look at this
Today, you will
DLSS.
hear Sonia share the inventions and breakthroughs of Nvidia researchers. She will show you the art of the possible
What, even
and
more?
a glimpse into the future with neurographics. Neurographics is one of the essential pillars of the emerging metaverse. What is the metaverse? Simply,
Every old person has
it's
the same
next
question.
evolution of the internet.
Really?
Commercialized 2 decades ago, the internet was about web pages, hyperlinked over a network. A decade ago, Web 2.0 emerged, and the internet was about cloud services, connected to applications that are oftentimes enjoyed on mobile devices. Now Web 3.0 is here. The metaverse
It's here.
is the internet engine,
Really?
a network of connected, persistent virtual worlds.
Wow.
The metaverse will extend 2D web pages into 3D spaces and worlds.
Oh my goodness.
Will evolve into hyperjumping between 3D worlds.
Instead of being, you could actually stand in line with your VR headset on at Amazon, waiting to check out when they get overloaded.
What are metaverse applications? They're already here. Fashion designers, furniture and goods makers and retailers offer virtual 3D products you can try with augmented reality. Telcos are creating digital twins of their radio networks to optimize and deploy radio towers. Companies are creating digital twins of warehouses
like
and
Amazon.
factories to optimize their layout and logistics. And Nvidia is building a digital twin of the Earth to predict
To
the
transport our
climate change.
consciousnesses
The
into.
metaverse will grow organically as the internet did. Continuously
Video sound issue is low.
simultaneously across all industries, but exponentially because of computing's compounding and network effects.
Is that better?
And as with the internet, the metaverse is a computing platform that requires a new programming model, a new computing architecture, and new standards. HTML is the standard language of the 2D web. USD, Universal Scene Description,
US
an
dollars?
open and extensible language of 3D worlds invented by Pixar, is likely the best language for the metaverse. NVIDIA Omniverse is a USD platform,
But what's the
a
love language
toolkit
of
for
the
building
metaverse?
metaverse applications, and a compute engine to run virtual worlds. Rev will share our work and collaboration with the industry to advance USD. Stephen will talk about the algorithms and the compute engine of Omniverse. One of the most exciting
talk about our
applications of
stock
Omniverse
price.
is
I mean-
robotics. Systems that perceive their environment,
Sensitive subject.
reason, and
Yeah.
plan. There are many forms of robots in development. Self-driving cars, manufacturing arms, warehouse inventory movers, agriculture planters and weeders, and logistics picking machines. Robotics is the next wave of AI, and Omniverse is essential to our work to design, train, and operate robots. One of the most widely used robots will be a digital human or avatar. Avatars will populate virtual worlds to help us create and build things. Be the brand ambassador and customer service agent. Help you find something on a website. Take your order at a
There it
drive-thru,
is. He's putting his
or
me to sleep
recommend a
already.
retirement or insurance plan.
Have this creepy
Creating
little baby in your
avatars
car.
requires state-of-the-art
Have
AI
this creepy
models
version of
that
me
can see, hear,
your
understand
car.
language,
In
be
your car.
knowledgeable, converse, and animate.
Oh, whoops.
Simon will talk about our digital human research and our work to democratize the creation and deployment of avatars.
Aye.
We have a lot to show you today. Sonia, make it so.
Thank you, Jensen.
Ugh.
It's great to be here with
Something
you at
happened with
Siggraph
this.
2022. Neurographics
do?
intertwines AI and
what happened.
graphics, paving the way for a future graphics pipeline
There we go.
that is amenable to learning from data. This will
That's
enhance
better.
results,
Good
help
job.
automate design choices, and provide new
I figured it out.
opportunities for artists and creators that have yet to be imagined. Ultimately, neurographics will redefine how virtual worlds are created, simulated, and experienced by users. There are many
Wow, they're
important
finally using
challenges
that
to
eye
address
tracking
in the world of
technology
computer
for their
graphics.
presentations.
Let's talk about a few of these
Nice.
and the
I always
solutions
look-
provided
I
by
always look like
neurographics
deeply
that
into
can
the eyes of the
revolutionize the field.
presenters.
Content creation
So I'm
is a
like,
time-consuming
I
process.
want to see if it's working.
The
they
exquisite
talk
craft
about
of
it, right?
artists
Like,
remains
You
essential,
can read off
but
of a
combining
thing.
AI and graphics can help significantly streamline this process. One way to save time is to take pictures of a scene or an object and try to reconstruct it in 3D.
You know what I really want to
We
know
can
about
think of
Nvidia? Is when are you
reconstruction
going to release a
as
new
the
shield?
inverse of the rendering process,
Right?
going from images
Thing's
back
been
to a
sitting
3D
around since
representation.
2019. Come on.
By
You know,
parameterizing the
that
3D scene with
littler
neural
one,
networks
like,
and
I don't want a
optimizing this
smaller one. I want one like,
representation using classical
I
rendering
want the new
techniques in
one.
the loop,
Like,
I
you
want
got a
one
new
to
you can
replace my
give
achieve
it
home
to me
theater
high-quality
PC.
already.
Come on.
results in a single
Yeah, like,
unifying framework.
you got
Another
what's the name of that
challenge
new
is
one,
character
newer one? Oh, I
animation,
can't remember the name of
which
it
is
right now.
essential to bring
Yeah,
virtual
they've got a chip
worlds
that's like
to
4 times as
life.
powerful now. It's like, let us
Physics-based
have it.
simulation makes the virtual world
Actually,
closer
was
to the real
when
world,
they first
but
announced
building
it, the
controllers for the simulated
latest Jetson, I
character is
actually tried to buy
extremely
it.
difficult.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm
Reinforcement
like, I want to make my
learning
own shield.
automates the
And then I
controller
contacted the
development
company. They said to get
process
through, and they're
by
like, we don't know
having
what we're
virtual
gonna get.
characters learn how to
I think
move
like
in a
as of
physically
like a month ago,
simulated
they're still like,
environment
we don't
by
know still.
imitating human motion data,
Awesome.
and the results
Supply
are
chain issues.
astonishing.
I guess.
Achieving an
But
immersive
Nvidia was
and
like on
seamless
sale now, and I'm like,
experience
no,
of
it's
the
not.
3D digital world is critical for virtual reality users,
Some of this stuff is pretty
especially as we
interesting though.
move towards a fully realized
Yeah.
metaverse.
As the
Currently, most
know,
VR users
I'd be
access the
curious to
3D
see
digital worlds by wearing bulky head-mounted
NPCs
displays.
that are
With the
programmed
advent of powerful AR
with this.
algorithms, we can co-design the
Maybe not
optics
with
of
those
this
weird
hardware,
glasses, but
the display size and
Those are
quality.
thoughts I've had too,
The
but it's like we've
optimized
been watching this for
design
years
can
and
deliver
nobody's doing it.
full-color 3D
It's really
holographic
disappointing.
images in
Especially
less
that
than
AI
half the size
interpolated
of existing
animations.
thin VR
Like,
displays.
that
Let's
would be
take
great.
a look at the
Yeah.
amazing work
But
our
nobody does
researchers
it.
have been
And I'm like,
doing
why?
in the
you can
domain of
literally
neural
play through the
graphics.
same game like 10 times and it could be like a totally different game.
And it would be so much more immersive. Like, because your character would respond in the nature that you would expect it to, as opposed to these
Although
janky animations.
it would be kind of interesting if they do something like that, like a game that's on the Metaverse. That would be something that would get me interested in the Metaverse, because they had like a game that you have access to that's continuously evolving and changing and building.
Have you played VR chat?
I have for like
Okay.
5 minutes, and I was like, this is annoying.
Oh man, VR chat, like, I'm not like into it. I played it like maybe a couple hours, but
Yeah.
the experience was neat. Because you can go into a whole different player creative world, different experiences, all this other fun stuff. And it was just like, there's always something new that you can do.
Yeah.
Like, I remember, like, time I jumped in this stupid world, it kind of reminds
AI
me
and
of like
graphics
Roblox
work in
VR,
tandem,
but
and breakthroughs in each lead to
we were standing
enhanced
in this world
results
of this,
when
like, somebody
combined
created this
together.
abstract art scene.
At
But
Siggraph,
people started
Nvidia is
picking up the art,
presenting
like these
16
big like cylinders or
papers
whatever,
that are
and
advancing
just
both
smacking
neural
people, and I'm
graphics
just
and the
watching
mathematical
people go
foundations of
flying, and
graphics,
somebody smacks me.
representing
Next thing you know,
collaborations
I'm
with
flying. It was
56
just,
researchers
crazy.
across 20 universities.
Mhm.
We're
I'm
extremely
still waiting
proud
for like a
that
movie
two
to
of
be
these
fully
papers
filmed
have
in
been
the
honored with the
Omniverse.
Best Paper Award at Siggraph. Today, Nvidia is releasing new research
you would
and
think that,
tools
like,
to apply the power of
they would,
neural
like,
graphics
run,
towards the
like,
creation and
the whole
animation of
filming of,
virtual
like,
worlds.
I don't know.
We're
Avatar
excited
2
to introduce
in, like, the
Kowloon Wisp,
Omniverse.
a research-oriented library for neural fields, providing a
That'd be
common
neat.
suite of tools and a
Right.
framework that aims to accelerate new
The virtual
research.
concerts are pretty neat.
Re-implementing many of the existing work in neural fields can be done in just few lines of code.
Going
With
into
this
VR
work,
and like,
our goal
I
is
think
to
it was Post
enable
Malone that
and
did one.
inspire
pretty
fast-paced progress in neural and foundational graphics.
All the concert
We
with
look
none of the
forward
BO.
to seeing many more exciting breakthroughs
Right.
at the next Siggraph. Next,
except
let's
you're on
hear
video.
from
Yeah, you're
Rev
like,
and
"Ah,
Steven to talk about the
it smells like-
Metaverse
smells
and
like a
virtual
concert.
worlds.
Oh no, wait. I just
The
skipped a
metaverse is
concert.
the next era in the evolution of the internet, a 3D
I'm still
spatial
waiting for them
overlay
to
of the
call this guy
web,
Reverend.
linking the digital world to our physical world. In this new iteration of the internet,
Whenever I see his
websites
name,
will
I'm like,
become
Reverend.
interconnected 3D spaces, akin to the
I
world
read
we
it, and that's
live
what I
in and
like
experience
saw,
every
like
day.
came in my head. Like
Many
the
of
voice
these
in my head
virtual
said
worlds
Reverend.
will be reflections of the real world, linked and synchronized in real time. Many of these virtual worlds will be designed for entertainment, socializing, and gaming, matching the
Yeah.
real world's laws of physics in
just
some
like
cases,
that Amazon warehouse.
but often choosing to break them to make the experiences more fun. XR devices and robots will act as portals between our physical world and virtual worlds. Humans will portal into a
Siggraph
virtual
like your
world with
tweet.
VR and AR devices, while AIs will portal out to our world via physical robots. Just like in the
Yeah, creepy
infancy
little
of
baby
the
thing.
internet, no one can predict exactly how and how large the metaverse will grow. But
It could
today,
even take over
we
our
know we can lay
lives
the
and
foundations.
make us into
The
slaves.
foundations of the metaverse require two things. First, a standard, open, and extensible way to describe all of the things in the virtual worlds of the metaverse,
Oh,
similar to
Nvidia is
HTML's
gonna
purpose
totally be
in today's 2D web.
the
And second,
the
a
creator
computing platform
of,
designed for the
Skynet.
creation
and simulation
100%.
of virtual worlds. The next era of the internet, the 3D internet, or metaverse, if you will, needs a standard way of describing all things within the 3D worlds. We believe universal scene description, invented and open sourced by Pixar, is the standard scene description for the next era of the internet. USD is far more than a static file format. It's a 3D composition engine with APIs for composing, editing, querying, rendering, collaborating, and simulating virtual worlds. USD is unique, giving 3D
Innovating.
artists, designers, developers, and world builders the
So looking
ability
at
to
this
work
USD
in
stuff.
non-destructive, layered workflows. The framework is highly extensible, providing the ability to build custom schemas for specific
How
workloads
much you
or
wanna
industry
bet?
applications.
Jensen's
We
got,
have a
like,
rich and long-term vision for USD.
like a server.
Looking at the
where he's,
2D
like,
web, we witnessed
developing
HTML's
his own
remarkable
AI
progress
version of
from
himself.
HTML 1.0 in 1993, where it could only describe simplistic
Guaranteed.
web pages, to HTML5, enabling rich, interactive media and dynamic applications.
like buttons that
USD
you
was
can
developed
click.
by Pixar.
USD is quickly evolving along a similar path from its origins in M&E as a static description of large virtual worlds towards a system for dynamic, procedural, and real-time worlds. We see the long view of USD and are fully committed to helping accelerate its development to reach that future sooner. Our most recent contributions include a custom MDL schema that can represent physically accurate materials and specify material parameters. We
kinda
also
neat.
upgraded USD from Python 2 to Python 3 bindings. And, along with Apple and Pixar, we extended USD to standardized support for rigid body
My
physics.
Python don't want none.
We
unless you
envision
got
USD evolving
on.
as a complement to existing 3D standards, most notably GLTF. Today, GLTF is an important 3D file format used across a vast number of 3D applications and delivery on the web.
They've been talking
Haven't
about
heard
this
Nvidia
stuff
We're
for a
helping
long
take
time.
the initial step towards
USD or anything
harmonization
that they didn't
of
make
USD and
like this
GLTF
in a long
with our
time.
development of an open source USD file format plugin.
Open source. This doesn't sound
With
like
this
Nvidia.
plugin, creators can
It's not,
directly
it's
leverage
Pixar.
the powerful layering,
Mhm.
composition,
No, I
and
know, but like
non-destructive
Nvidia
editing
supporting an
capabilities
open
of
source
USD
thing.
with their
It's like,
existing
this doesn't
GLTF
sound like
asset
them.
libraries.
Like, how can we monetize this?
Our next
free
milestones
stuff?
aim to make USD performant
I know.
for
Bring it
real-time,
into the Omniverse.
large-scale virtual worlds and industrial digital twins. This includes building support for international character sets, geospatial coordinates, and real-time streaming of IoT data. We're also enhancing the USD software stack to enable high-speed incremental updates and real-time proceduralism. We will continuously test and open source these
84.
builds
I
for
know
our
what that is.
ecosystem of ISV partners and customers. Let me show you a sneak peek of what we've been doing.
Nvidia is enhancing USD to support extremely large and complex digital twins. Everything from sprawling factories to global scale climate change. Digital twins need to operate in full design fidelity, at real-time speeds, and optimize for different devices. Here are the ways that Nvidia is extending USD to scale to the scene complexity of digital twins. The source USD is compiled into Fabric, a GPU-accelerated, deeply vectorized data representation for real-time updates, shown here in
Of
DriveSim.
reality.
Just-in-time
Step out
optimizations
real
like
quick and
mesh
get my water
merging
bottle.
and
I'll be
material
right back.
distillation reduce scene complexity while preserving visual fidelity, and can be applied at load time without modifying the source data. This is crucial for making a ground truth representation of a digital twin available to both a supercomputer like OVX, as well as a general consumer-grade device. Let's take a look at an example that shows the performance of a digital twin in USD. This virtual factory dataset from the Lotus SD Digital Factory team contains millions of prims in USD. With NVIDIA's just-in-time scene
So
optimizers,
lifelike.
the first pixels for this dataset appear in just a few seconds. These optimizers can be configured to device requirements on the fly. Without the optimizers, the dataset takes minutes to load, plays back at 7 FPS, and can
Oh,
exhaust GPU resources
7
on lower-end
FPS.
systems.
Unplayable.
Let's take a closer look at the optimization process. In traditional USD rendering pipelines, Hydra copies the USD data into GPU buffers as is. This is where optimizers come in. We can load the entire scene headlessly into system RAM, and then merge meshes, distill materials, and stream geometry to the renderer.
Now with those
In
big
this case,
GPU memory
geometry
buffers.
streaming prioritizes the draw order based on camera heuristics such as solid angle. With these just-in-time
No loud trumpet
optimizations, we
noises
achieve
yet,
a
Liz.
10 times speed up in load time and a 10 times speed up in playback frame rate. This is just the beginning for where we can take just-in-time
System
scene
RAM.
optimizations.
No, I think they were talking about loading it in like
Future
GPU
work
RAM.
could include out-of-core scene optimization to relax system RAM requirements and much more. USD is the ground truth for digital twins, scalable to any level of available computing power.
Ah,
It's
I'm still
scalable.
awake. It's
Oh,
nice.
We're not only contributing to the development of USD, but are continually testing and pushing its limits. We built our Omniverse platform as a USD engine and an open toolkit for building custom USD pipelines. We built DriveSim and IsaacSim for autonomous vehicles and general robotic simulations on top of Omniverse.
I do think this is a very
These
useful
demanding
tool
use
for,
cases require
training,
real-time
like,
performance,
algorithms for like
physical accuracy,
automated drone
and
flight,
extremely large
etc.,
virtual worlds.
Yeah.
where you
We're
can
also working
introduce,
closely
like,
with partners in retail,
multiple
automotive,
uh,
energy, telco, and more
scenarios
to evolve
and
USD
it can
and better serve their domains.
learn and adjust
To further
in a
accelerate
virtual
USD
world without
development and
getting,
adoption,
you know,
we're building an open source
crashing into
USD
something.
compatibility testing and
Mhm.
certification suite. Developers can test their builds of USD
Been doing
and
it for
certify
years, though.
that the
Like,
custom USD components
is it
produce
trained
an
yet?
expected result.
They've been using it for
We'll
years,
provide a
like,
testing
I know,
suite
but they were
as
saying
well
that
as
you
a
can
USD
accelerate
build
time with
system
it and
accessible
run
by
parallel
developers anywhere.
simulations,
We
right?
want
You can
everyone
run
to
a
help build
million
and advance
iterations
USD.
simultaneously.
We've built a wealth of resources
Yeah.
available online for free,
but
including
if that's
precompiled
the case,
binaries
why,
for
why
Linux,
aren't we trained
Windows,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
PyPI. We host USD View
Yeah, you
and
can actually do
USD
that
builds
in
in the
Unity
Omniverse
using the
launcher.
same
And we provide USD-ready
principle,
scenes,
where you have
on-demand
an
tutorials,
agent that you can
documentation, and
duplicate the
instructor-led
agent as many times as
courses.
you want.
We're excited to
Have
introduce
it
simulation-ready
run the same
USD
scenario
assets,
all at the same time.
purpose-built for
and it's a
industrial
cumulative
digital
learning
twins
experience.
and AI training
for it.
workflows. The USD
Yeah, but it's
ecosystem
funny,
is
like
vast,
I watched this
with
one guy do it,
contributions
and
from
it
numerous
was
leading
trying
technology
to park a
companies,
car.
not only in M&E,
It took
but in
well
AEC,
over it was some
manufacturing,
stupid like
and
3
even
million
robotics industries.
iterations before
We're
it could park
partnering
the
with
car.
many of
It's
these
not even like
companies to
it
evolve
wasn't even in a
USD,
smooth manner.
can't
It
wait
was
to
just
see
like
more names
it
on the
can
list.
successfully
Yeah.
park the car every time now.
I've covered
but
the
it was
first
just like
requirement of the Metaverse, a
was
standard
like
way of
watching
describing
Siggraph.
all things in the 3D web, USD. And now, Steve Parker will introduce
That
our
lithium
computing
saying,
platform
can't wait to see the
for
military
virtual
application
worlds.
to that.
Just like the internet has a compute and networking engine, the metaverse requires
our
a computing
drones to be more
platform
accurate.
to support linking the digital and physical world.
Yeah.
This platform for virtual worlds
Pilotless
requires
drones.
specific enabling technologies.
On the
We have
floor,
been
on the
building
ground,
the core
and in the
technologies of
drone.
Omniverse
No
over the
pilot
past 2
whatsoever,
decades.
just AI.
MBL,
Actually have
material
AI over
definition
there,
language, to
like
simulate
monitoring
physically accurate
the Ukraine
materials,
crisis. Like,
physics,
Mhm.
and
are they
advanced
collecting
real-time
real-world
physics
data
engine,
right now
and
for AI?
RTX,
I don't know. It's
the
crazy.
world's first hybrid rendering engine and AI system that enables us
What
to
would happen
simulate
if we
light
do
and
shell
matter with physical
Pripyat?
accuracy in real time.
Or they're
AI
monitoring
to
all the
assist
drone
in
footage,
building
like
or
you know, how they're
autonomously
using all these
generate
drones
worlds,
to attack, like
make predictions, and
personnel
automate
vehicles, this,
beyond
that, and the
human
other. I'm like,
abilities. And
wonder
of course,
what-
USD,
if they're
the
feeding that
powerful scene
information
description
to
standard
AI.
for
like,
virtual worlds. These core
don't know, I don't
technology
trust them
pillars
enough
are
to say that
powered
they're
by
not.
NVIDIA high-performance
I
computing,
wouldn't be surprised
from
if
the
they were.
edge to the cloud. Let me show you the foundational technology on which Omniverse is built.
And that AI is then going to connect to the digital world twin AI, and they're going to merge, creating this super militant AI that will take us over.
Call it MetaMerc.
I will say though, some of these graphic renditions are quite like the soup one. It looks quite real to life. Which again, for like, I think if I was like a animation artist for any sort of major studio, I'd be somewhat concerned about job security. Because like the way that they're setting this up, yeah, the sushi definitely did look good enough to eat. The way they're setting this up, you're not going to need, you know, a team of animators. You're going to have like 1 or 2 people.
Team of data scientists.
Yeah, no, exactly. And they're going to be like, oh yeah, we'll do this, we'll do that. And you might not
Hopefully, it
even
drives
need,
down the cost.
and you might not even need writers, because you'll have, you know, running multiple iterations of a story. And you could develop, you know, like 10 scripts. And then
They
you
actually
run
have that already. Like I saw it. I think PC Gamer posted it,
oh,
where
yeah.
they have AI dungeon masters now,
Mhm.
and like they can come up with a whole unique story for you to play through, and it's actually quite enjoyable apparently.
is an interesting and slightly disturbing, concept.
I like it though because it
See you in Omniverse.
like I have a big problem like gaming because
We have several
right
exciting
now because
developments
gaming
in core
it keeps
graphics
getting more and more
technologies.
expensive
Today,
to make
we
a
are
game,
celebrating 10
but all we're
years
getting
of
is better
MDL,
graphics, but the
the
gameplay
material
itself
standard for
and the
industrial
stories and
workflows.
like
With
they're very
MDL,
generic
we
experiences,
unlock
but they just
material
look prettier
representations
every
from
year.
current
Wait,
silos,
shh, they're talking about
where-
Jensen's
allowing them
leather
to
jacket.
traverse software
Oh, here we
ecosystems.
go.
This is important.
We open sourced
Oh,
the
hold on.
MDL
Alright,
SDK
forget it.
at
Continue.
Siggraph 2018.
But yeah, so it's like we're wasting all
Now,
this money
we are
and this
open
time on
sourcing the
asset
MDL
development
distiller
and like
and GLSL
animations
backend
and stuff like that,
technologies,
voice acting,
further broadening the reach
instead
of
of
MDL
making a
and
core
enabling
better game.
developers
So
to bring
maybe,
MDL support
hopefully,
to their
this is me
preferred renderers.
daydreaming. Technologies
MDL
like
is a
this
flexible
will divert
language
some of the
that can
cost
be
back to
used to
actually making
define
a better game
complex,
instead of just a
physically
better
accurate
looking game.
materials,
Oh no, for
like
sure.
cloth
They'll
with
actually be able
complex
to
highlight
develop something
patterns. It
half
defines
decent.
the ground truth of a
Yeah.
material,
And it
with
might be able
properties
to
such as
launch
energy
on time
conservation
and won't
that
be a bug
enables
in the
Assassin's
robust
Creed
physical
and the Far
simulation.
Cries.
Many renderers
Cyberpunk.
can't render such
Cyberpunk.
complex materials and need to simplify or translate into their own
You know?
material model. Other renderers
So,
may
no, I
wish
think
to
there's-
the next evolution of OpenVDB.
Okay, let's see.
Let's see
Hey,
it
you're back.
up close.
Yes, we're back.
Whereas OpenVDB
Oh,
uses
this
a hierarchical tree
stupid router.
structure, Neural VDB introduces neural
I
representations
hate
I was
this
blaming it
router.
on a Windows
values
update.
and the underlying tree structure. This dramatically reduces the volume's memory footprint, allowing users to interact
You
with
missed
extremely
very
large
cool stuff.
and
Oh, there we
complex
go.
I missed
volumetric
everything.
Neural
datasets.
VDB.
Let me go
That's
live.
actually pretty cool.
Asset library.
Here we go.
Omniverse now has several free USD scenes and content packs to get world builders started faster than ever. Omniverse Audio to Face is now available with full facial animation and is
Okay,
now
sure,
available with
Now
full
my stream's
Omniverse
gonna be
Machinima
haha.
now has new content from Beyond the Wire, Postscriptum, and Shadow Warrior. Machinima now has easily accessible AI-enabled animation tools like audio to face and audio to gesture.
Died again?
NVIDIA's modulus physics machine
no,
learning
you're fine.
framework
I'm
is
good?
now
Okay, good.
available
Yeah.
as an Omniverse extension, delivering near real-time performance. Modulus-trained physics ML models are
Oh, it's
1,000
time
to
to replace this
100,000
router.
times faster.
This is the third
while
time I've had to
providing
reset it today.
unprecedented accuracy closer
That's
to
terrible.
high-fidelity
Yeah, it's bad.
simulations. Working closely with our research teams, we are introducing new AI-powered artist and creator tools to Omniverse AI Toybox. Animal Modeler, a diffusion model.
I don't know if this guy's an actual AI or a person.
Artists and creators
The way he
iterate on an
talks.
animal's form with point clouds
Is
and then generate
as close
a
as we're gonna
3D
get
mesh.
to a hybrid
NVIDIA
between the two.
Gauguin
To a hybrid
is
computer.
coming to 3D worlds with Gauguin 360, generating 8K 360-degree panoramas you can
8K.
easily
Hear
load
that?
into an
8K.
Omniverse scene. Lastly,
Buzzwords.
Omniverse Deep Search
That's how you know
is
it's
now
good.
available for enterprise
It
customers,
has the 8K.
letting teams use AI to help them intuitively search through massive untagged asset databases. Deep Search lets you search on qualitative or vague inputs, bringing up accurate results for red rusty barrel. Deep Search works even if the USD
just
data
thinking,
does
what
not
is it?
contain any tags or
Is
other
that brown
metadata.
rusty donuts from
Shared
GTA
virtual worlds will
4
enable the
or
next
3 or
wave
2?
of AI and will profoundly
two-
impact
3 remake?
today's industries. Omniverse is where all of NVIDIA's technology comes together to realize this opportunity.
Rusty
We are
Brown's
building
ring
out
donuts.
more developer tools, technologies for constructing custom USD pipelines,
from,
and are enabling full design fidelity visualization of USD scenes. We're continuing our work in bringing multi-GPU,
Did I miss the new
multi-node
GPU launch?
hyperscalability to simulate large-scale
man.
scenes without compromising physical accuracy. We are also
No, but
continually infusing the latest
this
AI into
Part is
capturing,
like less interesting
generating,
than what you missed.
composing,
Oh, shoot, what did I miss?
simulating, and
It's
optimizing these virtual worlds.
was like a
And to realize the
Neuralink
potential of the
optimizer
metaverse
for rendering
industrial and
scenes,
scientific use
bringing
cases,
like
we
scenes from
continue to
like
forge links from the
I don't know a
physical
couple
world
gigabyte
to
down
digital
to
worlds
like
through sensors
200
and IoT
megabyte.
devices.
Oh wow.
Omniverse
by
is a network
AI,
of
like
networks.
simulating physics,
Nvidia and our
water,
partners are
wind.
continually developing robust
Yeah, so
live
it's like
USD portals
OpenVDB,
from
which is
design,
a visual database,
simulation,
tracks
and CAD
you know,
software
model data and all that fun
ecosystems
stuff,
to Omniverse.
and
We
making
have
it
already
neural
developed
and
several
runs on
connectors for major
Tensor cores,
design and content
and
creation
allowing it to
ecosystems.
better compress the data. It had
Today,
like a
we are
56%
announcing several new
timed
connectors,
effective
including
compression
Blender,
ratio.
Autodesk
Pretty neat.
Alias and Civil
And
3D,
watching fluid dynamics
Siemens
going,
JT,
ooh.
SimScale, and Open Geospatial Consortium, connecting users across industries and disciplines. You can also try the new PTC Creo, Visual Components, and SideFX Houdini connectors. They are now available in beta. Beyond these, the Omniverse USD ecosystem continues to grow, with downloads and users growing nearly 3 times in 1 year, and to 112 connections spreading across huge software ecosystems. Our partners continuously release new updates to the Omniverse Ready connections. Maxon's Redshift Hydra renderer is now available, as is Otoy Octane, letting artists and designers use their preferred renderers directly
You know, it's
in
funny.
Omniverse.
Is the chat is
Ipalog
dead,
Sync
but I don't
Twin,
mean that as a
built on
streamer.
Omniverse,
It's actually dead
is a
because
new
it's
suite of
it's not
tools
updating.
and services
I don't think
to
I can
enable
get it to update
development of industrial
unless I
digital
shut the
twins.
stream down and restart it. So I'm just gonna
Preview
leave it dead.
3D, a 3D
Oh, no,
scanning
no,
partner,
trust.
now has USD support, enabling workflows in Omniverse. And with Siemens
Nope, not
Accelerator
working.
as
All right.
part of the
Yeah, that's
Omniverse
all right.
network, industrial customers can unlock the
Man,
power
my
of the
chat down here is
Metaverse
working.
for a new era
Yeah, that chat
of
itself
digital
on
the
twins.
stream.
on YouTube is working.
Our community of 150,000 Omniverse users are everywhere. Portaling into
150,000
Omniverse with their
Omniverse users.
RTX-enabled studio laptops,
Are you sure those aren't just digital
gaming
twins?
PCs, professional workstations,
AI. They're
and
running into the
OVX
simulator.
You have
servers,
five
with the
people
next
with
wave of
30,000
Omniverse
digital
worlds
twins.
moving to the cloud.
The
Omniverse
Omniverse
is
is cool if you
available
haven't
for
messed with
free.
it. It's pretty neat.
I've
Download
never
it
messed
at
with it. I
nvidia.com
really kind of want to.
and start creating today.
You should. It's fun.
Now let me hand it off to my colleague Simon
Gonna
to talk
build
about
the
digital
GPU
humans.
scanner into the
Thank you, Steven.
Omniverse.
Yeah.
At its core, an avatar is
Man,
a
3D
virtual
print
robot that can
GPUs.
perceive,
Make
plan,
money.
and act. Avatars will be everywhere.
Oh, they
They'll
picked the
become more
creepiest looking
personal
avatars. This
and intuitive.
Does anyone find this thing?
Eventually, they'll be as natural as talking to another person.
like really, it's like.
However, creating digital
alien-
humans is
Hey,
complex.
hey, my wife finds me
we need
cute. Okay,
breakthroughs
somebody
in
out there
natural
loves AI.
language
I guess.
processing, speech, and vision,
Creepy
while
as fuck.
simultaneously processing
I'm
complex
just
facial
waiting
and
for
body
us to
animations,
hear about like this little
sophisticated
avatar guy
materials and rendering,
killing Jensen.
all in real time. Everything must
Somehow.
dynamically update
In
and
the
react to us in
Omniverse.
milliseconds,
Yeah, it's
just
gonna
like
kill
human
him
conversations.
somehow.
It'd be like that
NVIDIA's
movie
work
Puppet
on
Master.
digital
Yeah.
humans
It's gonna be
spans
AI
across
Master.
the company,
It's gonna like
from research and visualization,
invade some sort
to
of medical
animation and
device that he
simulation,
needs
from AI
that's
models
electrically attached,
all the way to deployment.
and it's gonna like.
Let me
take
show
him and
you
be like,
audio
"I
to
am
face,
now the
or
one."
facial animation
Guaranteed.
AI, created by close collaboration between NVIDIA
Not that I
research,
hope that for him,
engineering,
but
and creative teams.
I have a feeling it's
Audio
gonna
to
happen.
face is an AI model that can create facial animation directly from voices. Our new version
See, the
has
funny
just been
thing is,
released.
he's talking about this.
It has some
and yet he
significant
looks
new
so
updates that
deadpan while he's
vastly
talking
improve
about it.
how
It's like,
people
why don't you
create
use this
high-quality
face
facial
animation
animation.
stuff to make you look excited
Let me
while
show
you're
you
talking
what it
about
can do.
this?
Reflecting his audience.
This is like, oh, what's his face? It looks kind of like what's his face from The Witcher.
It's so dark. Where is it? I can't.
Henry Cavill.
I can't see it.
yeah,
I
there you
can't
go.
see anything.
Yeah. Except, like-
But I know it's there.
Except if he did like hard drugs for
Waiting.
like 5 years.
Waiting.
The beige hue on the waters of the loch impressed all, including the French queen, before she heard that symphony
But look at
again,
this. Look at this
just as
emotion on
young
that
Arthur
face. There's
won.
more emotion on
Okay, I have
this
a few jokes here.
AI's face.
What do you call a fish without any eyes?
That's a pretty dumb joke, but I like
We
it.
have an exciting roadmap for Omniverse Audio to face.
Look, he's talking about it
We
being
just added
exciting,
more features
but-
to analyze and automatically transfer your emotions to your avatar.
Dog died.
We're expanding
Right, I'm like,
connections
I'll
and
believe it
availability of audio to face
when
to
the
other
presenters
engines
have
and
it.
platforms. Let me show
Right?
you where
I
we're
think
headed.
they've just recently
First,
gotten the
we're going to
eye
expand our
tracking thing
multi-language support.
properly sorted out.
We're looking at improving different
Because it
people's
looks like
voice
he's looking directly
adaptability.
at the camera.
So no matter what type of voice input goes in, the
As he's
network will
reading.
create the predicted facial animation even more accurately. We're also going to provide a training SDK, so users can train their own data, serving more particular needs people might have to customize their avatar.
So it's kind of.
And looking even further ahead,
Our own
here's our
likeness.
vision. It starts with simplifying how to create our own 3D avatar with our own likeness
It can
using
even help
just a
me
single
to
photo.
look like I have
Here,
emotions.
we see a full cloud-based solution where you can drag a photo into this app, and the 3D model with textures generated on the fly. Very easy and quick.
Oh, this would
And
be
these
good
3D
for
models
VTubers.
are not nerfed or point clouded. They're actually animation-ready meshes
Hey?
with a clean topology, ready to be animated immediately with audio to face.
Spinner, where are you at?
Next,
This would be great for
we're
VTubers.
developing an anatomically based, high-fidelity muscle simulation approach to generate any type of facial motion on any character. The facial animation you see on the right is created through muscle simulation only. There are no other hand tweaks or animations applied. We can teach the muscles how to behave, and they learn how to move based on a video input from the left.
See,
And not only that,
They're-
and with this,
is
we
a
can
generalized
make
solution that
movies
works for
with
many
celebrities
different
that are
types
dead.
of digital humans. We can train and transfer these muscles
They,
to all
the
one
kinds
that
of
just
digital
died
humans,
yesterday.
enabling us to generate
posting
motion
only
without
people
the need
without
to motion
beards.
capture
I
or
know.
do 4D scans. Lastly,
They can't trace me.
here's one
I've
of the
got a
most
beard.
complex digital
Yeah.
assets to create and simulate. Similar to image to 3D,
Oh, hair works.
we can
Yeah.
now
Finally got
generate
hair works.
Olivia
skin-based hair
Newton-John.
from
There
a
we go.
single photo.
Oh,
What we're showing here
Rip.
is an end-to-end system
Oh.
from generating hair
Rip in
to
peace.
simulation. For grooming hair, we're combining a full physics-based system that allows you to interact and edit your virtual groom just like in the real world.
oh.
We
Pretty
want to
soon we'll have
democratize
robots
building interactive
cutting our hair.
avatars for every platform. Today, we're announcing Omniverse Avatar
That was
Cloud Engine,
preferable almost.
Omniverse ACE.
Mhm.
ACE is a collection of cloud-based AI models and services for developers to easily build avatars. It encompasses NVIDIA's body of avatar
Avatar
technologies,
building.
from
Oh,
vision
man.
AI, speech AI, natural language processing, to audio to face and audio to motion,
Was
where
that
you
a
can
fat
animate your
Jensen?
avatar's face with spoken words, all running as APIs.
Didn't that look
in
like a
cloud.
fat Jensen?
With Omniverse ACE,
Yeah.
developers
did.
can build, configure, and deploy their avatar application
man.
across
I
any
want to
engine
see a fat
in any
Jensen.
public or private
I
cloud.
kind of like the fat Jensen.
ACE will
He
democratize
seems less
the
threatening than
ability
this
to
little
build
mini
and
one
deploy
that looks
realistic
sneaky.
AI-driven intelligent
Right? He looks
applications.
like he's sneaky.
Let me show you what this looks like.
In this demo, ACE is powering a metahuman Unreal Engine in real time. That includes natural language processing, a custom voice model, and animation behaviors. Let me show you how it works. Hello.
Hello, my name is Arjun. I am a digital avatar.
Oh.
What does it mean to be a digital avatar?
At first, I thought this person was the digital avatar.
I'd be happy to explain. In computing, an avatar is a graphical representation of a user or the user's character or persona. A digital avatar can also be a virtual assistant, like myself.
Can you tell me more?
Avatars are the digital representatives in the virtual world.
Can you tell
the
me even more?
characters we
Listen,
control in
buddy,
video
you need to
games
learn
can be thought of as
yourself.
avatars.
I'm not
and
going to tell
increasingly,
you
we will
everything.
adopt avatars as we shop, socialize, learn, and work in the connected online environments that we are calling the Metaverse.
Let me show you another avatar in Metaverse. This is Sam. I've heard a lot about this thing called the Metaverse. Can you explain it to me?
The Metaverse is the 3D
You're
evolution
old.
of the
You probably
internet,
wouldn't know.
a network of connected, persistent
Boomer.
virtual worlds.
Okay, Boomer.
I'd love to know
I'll
more.
explain it to you.
The Metaverse will extend 3D web pages into 3D worlds and connect the digital world to the physical world. The Metaverse has multiple applications, whether for entertainment, socializing,
Kill
and
me,
gaming,
please.
or industrial and scientific use cases to build digital
AI
twins.
avatars
Please
start
stop asking
crying.
me
Thank
questions.
you. Goodbye.
Sure. I am here if you have any more questions.
With Omniverse ACE, third-party developers everywhere can create their own avatars that run in the cloud or on a device, leveraging NVIDIA's entire body of digital human work. Our AI models can connect to all of the applications and engines out there and power the avatars in their environments, all through the cloud. With Omniverse ACE, we're simplifying the creation of AI-accelerated avatars.
Yeah, these avatars, they could
We
really
have
take
much
VTubers
more in
to
store
the
for
next
you in the
level.
future. This is just the beginning. Now back to you, Jensen.
AI, the most powerful technology force of our
AI,
time,
Ayo.
will revolutionize every field of
Sorry.
computer science, including computer graphics.
Computer
NVIDIA's
graphics.
RTX is the engine of neural
He said
graphics.
computer grapher.
RTX and neural graphics
Said
is like a time
RTX
machine.
computer graphics.
The breakthroughs you saw today would have otherwise taken another decade.
For us to
The power
render.
of neural graphics to create worlds and synthesize images is an essential pillar of the metaverse. The metaverse is the next evolution of the internet, the 3D internet. Today, we made 3 major announcements. First, we announced the significant release of Omniverse, including new toolkits for creating USD applications and new engine technologies for running virtual worlds.
Yeah, I gotta ask you more
Nvidia
about
Omniverse
and
runs on
what
USD,
to do in there and what
the
you can
leading
use it
candidate for the standard language
It's a big
of the
playground of
metaverse. Second,
3D.
we also announced collaborations with industry leaders and an
Did you ever see
open
the Goose
source
video
suite
made in there?
of
No.
USD interoperability
Oh
tests.
my god, it's so funny.
Virtual worlds are essential to designing,
I'll find
training,
it and send it
and
to you.
operating
for.
robots.
Is it as good as the
next wave of AI.
Nvidia video?
Avatars
Oh,
will
the
be
creepy
among the
one.
most popular of the many forms of robots. There will be billions of avatars. Our third announcement, NVIDIA ACE, Avatar Cloud Engine, is a suite of AI models used to create avatars of all kinds. ACE runs in the cloud or in embedded systems.
Look the way you want.
The announcements we made today further
Without
advance the
plastic
metaverse,
surgery.
a new computing platform with new programming models, new architectures, and new standards. Our industry is set for the next wave. The combination of AI and computer graphics will power the metaverse, the next evolution of the internet.
All right, next a big event,
Have a
September
great
30th.
Yeah. That's it, eh?
Now approaching your destination.
Destination. And it crashes. No, they're reusing the outro from before. But that'd be interesting. I don't know. Omniverse, they want to create this sort of like digital twin of the world in which people can interact and hang out.
Hi, welcome to
No,
Nvidia.
Omniverse is more of like a collection of 3D tools and assets that you can use to create things. It's not really a world that you step into, it's just a giant tool set. It's really neat. Like, I don't know, it's not really a good
No,
way
so,
to describe
sorry, a
it.
metaverse. Is that what they want to
Oh,
do? Create
yes.
this sort of like alternate version of the world where everybody exists as a digital representation of themselves and can interact.
Essentially, but it's more of like a collective between all the big companies that try to do it. Like everybody's tying into this metaverse concept, but there's no. The funny part is, it's not standardized at all, and like Facebook is trying to become
Well, they renamed
standard
themselves
bearer.
Meta, so
Yeah, and then everybody's fighting against it. Like, nah, I don't think Facebook's the company we want doing this. Like,
I don't think any company we want to be doing that. To be
no, I
honest.
think there should be an open consortium if there's going to be a metaverse. Like, but all honesty, like, having been in, like, I've done quite a bit with VR. I don't see it happening. Like, nobody wants a headset on their head
Nobody wants to be sweating their eyes
all the
out.
time. Yeah.
I
Like,
mean, yeah, but if you look at, there was a small portion of the presentation where they had like super sleek glasses, like super thin.
That guy with the things flying out over top of his head.
Yeah, like working on upscaling with
I can see it
AI.
for being a tool.
Mhm.
Like, you use it for like 3D modeling, like things like that. Like, I don't see it as a place where people spend their days
There's a
hanging
lot
out.
No, there's some
with
people that would
motion
spend their days
sickness.
there, right? Well, that's
Well, yeah,
motion
I mean, there's
sickness
always-
because they don't have the frames, man.
Yeah,
Nah.
but, like I'm sure there is a group of people that do it. I don't think it's going to become as widespread because, like, I mean, people still, at least at some level, enjoy going out and doing things. And like,
Touching grass.
how do you replace physical interaction? Like, that's the biggest problem. If you can make
I
it
don't
so
know.
that people
for
can
some
go in,
for some people
get the
that's not
sensation-
even an issue though. They don't really crave physical interaction, right? They just
No,
want
maybe I'm just old.
the social aspect of it. They don't want the meat and potatoes of interaction, right? And the ability to. The issue I have is that, like, how can you I don't know, I was just even thinking was it the Amanda Todd story? You remember that story? I think was it
Blanking on
her,
it.
her name was Amanda Todd, I think. She was basically bullied, and like the people who were not just bullied but like harassed, and like some guy got like pictures of her that were compromising, and would like
On
basically chase her down no matter
on
where she
Facebook
went
and
on
yeah,
Facebook and that.
yeah.
That I think is gonna be like a legit concern, where like people can just like come in with like alts and, you know, just harass to another level, right? So
Yeah, that's a concern.
I mean, that's a concern, but
Mhm.
imagine like the amount of freaking spam you get on Twitter, Facebook, and every social media. They're not even able to stop it like on there. So imagine being in the stupid omniverse and be spammed by like bots. Hey, enlarge your penis.
oh yeah, you'll get like yeah, ad blocks will be much more important there, but you probably won't be able to. But yeah, you could have, it would be like a much more forced immersive advertising experience, which would be I would be very uncomfortable with.
I mean, they're aiming for like something like Ready Player One.
Well, they're talking
Yeah,
about,
that would be neat.
yeah, it would be neat, but you know what? Everything's really neat until you have ads all over.
Yeah.
And that always happens. Right?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Right? That always
every
happens.
tech,
It's happening now with streaming services. And it's gonna happen in the metaverse too. So don't get too invested in that. Because then you're
you
gonna have to pay for
remember
ad-free experience, which is gonna probably cost you an arm and a leg, and that'll be all your vacation money going into the metaverse, and
Yeah.
that'll be your new escape.
Do you remember the fail Stadia?
The Stadia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
had like one piece of like the whole presentation when they did it, that the piece was developer will be able to modify the world in real time, blah blah, like Picasso style and everything. But as soon as I saw that, I was like, okay, that's like for ads.
Yeah.
On like, so with everything they're doing right now, AI generated stuff, neural link, neural network, and like everything, and Meta, sorry, with the new ad set, it will do like eye tracking and everything. So they're gathering new data on people on other ways that people are not expecting.
Oh,
And now with Amazon buying Roomba,
You think too though, like with a headset, right, with eye tracking, right, they flow some ads, they can measure engagement with your biometrics, you know, like your eye, you know, your pupils, do they widen, do you view an ad as it's sort of going by you, or do you sort of ignore it? And they can sort of gauge what things you're interested in, what things you actually like, and even like on a very like primal level, they can even understand what you like more than even potentially you understand what you like, which is a very scary concept to me.
Oh yeah, and next they will have like heartbeat sensor and like stuff like that. So it's like, oh, okay, eyes, heartbeat, and everything. So they will be able to fucking generate shit that will increase your dopamine.
Dude, you're killing my monetization with your language here.
Oh, sorry. With the poop.
Your French language here.
I was worried about me.
Yeah.
They will they will straight up be able to pump dopamine
Oh yeah.
into you.
Yeah, and make it even like an addiction.
Oh yeah.
By tailoring your experience to like just push you.
Yeah, and you have this whole new generation of kids that are TikTok starving, 2-second attention span, that are already filled with like dopamine because it's instant gratification to watch a short video and then it stops and then you're happy. Next.
Oh yeah, it's like you're scrolling through reels on Instagram, aka TikTok, and you know, it's all TikTok reposts, right? And it's just like you're scrolling, you're like, oh yeah, it's just a short video, and then like an hour later you're like, wow, I just burned an hour of time doing nothing.
Yeah, because it's instant dopamine.
I burned an hour of my time on Instagram when I could have been watching Sweet Baby J streaming or following him on Twitter, liking his video, subscribing to his channel, hitting the notification bell so I can get notifications when he goes live again, and following his Twitter for witty quips and dad jokes. That's more important than TikTok videos.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that.
When we're on that note, when we're talking about, I don't know if people will like to spend an hour or 2 or 5 hours with a giant mask on their faces. It's as
Imagine the
soon,
acne.
Oof.
yes. So
Yeah,
as
wow.
soon as you will try it like a drug, you'll get instant dopamine, and then it's going to be mechanical.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I want to do this, like people scrolling through TikTok or Instagram.
And that's the future that we have to look forward to.
Yeah, well, unless you educate.
Unless AMD saves us from Nvidia. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Well, I mean, unless you educate your kids, educate people, and if you're, because most of people are not aware of that, of the TikTok or whatever thing that's it's hacking your brain, literally.
Yeah. All right.
It's
but I have to
chemical
go.
spam.
I have to go pee right now, and I think
Yeah.
that's a good note to end on.
Sounds like
the
a
number
perfect
one.
stream.
It's the number one way to end a stream.
You don't need to go pee.
All right. Thank you guys for hanging out though. And Lith, I didn't even mention you in the beginning. Lithium is the francophone voice you hear, the French voice, and Fister as well, offering the insights. We'll probably have you guys on at some point in the future as well. But
when AMD will announce their new CPU.
Yeah, sure. We'll maybe have you guys on as well, and we'll be chit chatting and watching it in live time. Also,
That'll be fun.
This coming Friday, I'll be streaming PUBG again. See if we can get a few more chicken dinners. And on Monday next week, I will be doing an instructional on how to set up a custom loop. So just
really, wow,
just running through basics with like fittings and tubing and how to put it together and do it properly, just with soft tubing, because that's easy and I'm not a masochist. Hard tubing is a whole other level of pain. But I have a feeling that with upcoming GPUs and CPUs, mainly from Intel and Nvidia, there's going to be a sudden surge in demand for custom loops. And probably a lot of people out there are going to want to know how. And it'll be a really great intro on how to do it and whether or not you can do it. And the answer will most likely be a resounding yes, you can do it. Because with soft lines, it's nice, it's easy, it's quite foolproof in a lot of different ways. And I'll have parts lists and costs as well ready for you, so you can sort of gauge out whether it's going to be worth it or not. So thank you everybody for you two for joining, and everybody else for streaming and watching, and especially holding on through the internet outage I had. And I'll see you guys this Friday, hopefully with a new router that won't die. So I'll see you guys later, and take care.
Goodbye.
Take it easy.